A long time ago, in the wide lands of Somalia, there lived a wise elder named Gold who was respected not for his wealth but for his knowledge of tradition, for people said he carried three treasures of Somali culture in his heart: the camel, the poem, and the ocean. Every evening, when the sun went down and the cool desert wind blew across the land, Gold would gather the children around the fire, their eyes glowing in the light as they waited for his words. One bright night, under a silver moon and stars shining like beads, Gold told them, "If you understand these three treasures, you will understand who we are as Somali people." He pointed to a tall camel resting nearby and said, "The first treasure is the camel. It is not just an animal, it is our lifeline. The camel gives milk when no other food is found, it carries us and our goods across the burning desert, and it is our wealth and pride." Long ago, families measured their riches by camels, and even in marriage, a man offered camels as bride price to show responsibility. A Somali without a camel is like a tree without roots. The children laughed, imagining a groom bringing camels to win a bride, but Gold grew serious and added, "The camel teaches patience. It walks slowly but never gives up, surviving hot days and cold nights. That is why we call it the ship of the desert. To be Somali is to be like the camel, strong, patient, and enduring." After a pause, Gold raised his voice again. "The second treasure is poetry. Words are our greatest gift. We are a nation of poets. Poetry is not just for entertainment, it is how we solve problems, express love, praise bravery, and share wisdom." He recited a short verse in a deep, rhythmic tone that made the children sit silently, amazed by the beauty of the words, even if they did not understand them fully. "Poetry is our memory," Gold explained. "Through poems we remember our heroes, keep our history, honor kindness, and sometimes even make peace. When two men quarreled, a wise poet's words could cool their anger better than swords." A boy asked shyly if poems could really stop fights, and Gold smiled and answered, "Yes, my son, a single verse can heal hearts, but careless words can also cause wars. That is why we must speak carefully." The children whispered lines of poems they knew, proud to belong to a people who lived by words. Finally, Gold turned toward the horizon, and though the ocean was far away, its salty breeze seemed to reach them. "The third treasure," he said softly, "is the ocean. For centuries our people have lived beside its waters, fishing to feed families and sailing across waves to trade with Arabia, Persia, and India. From the ocean, Somali sailors carried frankincense, myrrh, and spices, returning with stories and goods from distant lands. The ocean teaches us patience and strength, for its waves are never still, just like life is never still. Sometimes calm, sometimes wild, yet always moving forward, that is the spirit of our people." The children listened in awe, imagining endless blue waters and boats braving storms. Gold leaned closer to the fire, his wrinkled face glowing, and said, "Now remember, my children, the camel gives us life, the poem gives us identity, and the ocean gives us connection. Together they are the heart of Somali culture. If you forget them, you forget who you are, but if you carry these treasures in your heart, our culture will live forever." The fire crackled as silence filled the night, and the children let the words sink deep. That night, as they lay in bed, their dreams were filled with camels walking proudly under the stars, poets raising their voices, and the mighty ocean stretching endlessly. From that evening onward, when they played, they sometimes pretended to be herders guiding camels, poets reciting wisdom, or sailors on the sea, for they had learned something precious. Somali culture was not only in the past, but alive in their hands and their future. And so, the story of the camel, the poem, and the ocean lived on, passed from Gold to the children, and from them to their own children, a flame that would never die in the hearts of the Somali people.